Yes, let's go. Throw the hook with the best of them. King Kong beat your chest, should've slept on you. What's next? The check, drip, dip, run the neck, check, hook by the book, fish, hook off the deck. ShowBizz. Throw the hook, shouldn't have slept on you. What's up, my people? This is ShowBizz, the adult. Alright, man, look, let's throw the hook. This is going to be my breakdown of Kamaru Usman versus Gilbert Burns. UFC 258 this Saturday, February 13th. And yes, I will be placing a $10,000 bet on Buzzsprout.com. Go to Buzzsprout.com/ShowBizz to place a bet on your favorite fights. Now, as you all know, in this community, I allowed you to make the bet for me by putting up a poll saying, who do you guys think going to win, Usman or Burns? And whoever you guys vote for, I will be placing my $10,000 bet on that fighter. And overwhelmingly, you guys said Kamaru Usman will be victorious, and I will be placing my $10,000 bet on this video. Also, I will be giving away an authentic Kamaru Usman autographed UFC glove. Please like and share this video and comment me if you want a chance at the giveaway. The giveaway was also sponsored by Buzzsprout.com. So look, after analyzing this fight and breaking down this fight, I am totally not confident in this $10,000 bet. Why? Look, I'm feeling funny about Kamaru Usman being victorious over Burns, and here's why. The biggest thing is the fact that they're training mates, right? They've worked with each other for years. They know each other's children. Their children play together. I mean, these guys know each other. They know each other's mechanics, all those things. So I'm not expecting a fish out of the water fight like Jorge Masvidal versus Usman. I'm not expecting a fight like this. They both know each other's mechanics. They both know each other's stand-up and ground game. So when you have a fight like this, it's very hard to be confident either way. But let's look at this fight. I mean, essentially what you have is Gilbert Burns, who is a sprinter, against Kamaru Usman, who is a marathon runner, right? You're talking about Kamaru Usman. Look, as the miles compile, as each round is knocked down, he is getting stronger and stronger, and the fight is swinging his way. As for Gilbert Burns, him being so aggressive with his stand-up and his ground game, I mean, on the ground, he's pulling out submissions, standing up, he's going for knockouts. I mean, as long as this guy is pressing forward or being aggressive, the fight will be swinging his way. But this is funny because Kamaru Usman is a defensive first type of fighter. So both of these guys, let me tell you, look, in this fight, you're going to have Gilbert Burns being aggressive. You're going to have Kamaru Usman being defensive, and both of them are going to be fine. And the first thing I really thought about, especially with my $10,000 on the line, I was just like, you know, how can Kamaru Usman pull this fight out? Should he press Gilbert Burns against the octagon? Well, I think that's really a good approach. Why? Because you'll want someone like Gilbert Burns backing up. You don't want him going forward. You really want him backing up. But here's where the rubber meets the road. Gilbert Burns is just brilliant with his jiu-jitsu. You press a guy like Gilbert Burns against the octagon, he'll collar tie you and drop down. No problem. Just drop down into full guard and be totally fine. And that's the thing. When it comes to the ground game and you have a wrestler against a jiu-jitsu artist, the wrestler is going to be totally comfortable on top. As far as the jiu-jitsu artist, he's going to be fine either way, on top or on his back. I mean, look, if Gilbert Burns dropped down into full guard, or just if Usman's on top, either way, Gilbert Burns is fine. Well, hold up. Like if Usman is in side mount, I think, or full mount, you know, that's going to look very good for Usman. But if Gilbert Burns transitions and somehow gets Usman on his back, I mean, it's a wrap. I mean, wrestlers hate being on their back. A lot of times they eventually scramble and go belly down, and then you just don't want to give your back to somebody like Gilbert Burns. So what do you do if you're Kamaru Usman? Do you keep the fight standing up? Look, Usman has like totally improved with his stand-up. He's a great athlete, and he showed a lot of those things against Colby Covington. I think Usman has some good stand-up, but I think Burns is just better. And it's so funny. I mean, you got a guy like Burns who just, you want to talk about making huge jumps in his stand-up. He's fallen in love with this knockout. And like I said, I mean, I know him and Justin Gaethje is not the same fighter, but it just kind of reminds me of how Justin Gaethje is really a ground guy, but he's so good standing up. You know, a lot of his fights, he's standing up. I mean, just knocking guys out. And I see that a lot from Gilbert Burns. He's going to try to finish you regardless. His timing is good. His power is very good. His punching technique think is very good. So I just think it's just a very weird fight to call, very interesting fight to call. And with my $10,000 on the line, I'm trying to figure out, what can I grab onto to feel this, to build this confidence, right? And I'm looking at it this way. I mean, with both of these guys really knowing each other, with Usman just being this experienced champion, a guy with just so much in the tank. I mean, he just keeps a full tank. A guy who's definitely proven with his stand-up, a guy who's a monster wrestler, just a master wrestler. Beautiful with takedown defense and wonderful with his takedowns. Great clinching against the octagon, all those things. Usman is just a complete fighter. And with his experience just going thousands of rounds, I'm sure thousands of rounds in sparring and training with Gilbert Burns, he kind of knows his mechanics. So I'm saying even on the ground, if this goes to the ground, I can see Usman kind of understanding or kind of recalling Gilbert Burns' go-tos when it comes to transitioning and when it comes to trying to pull off certain submissions. I can see Usman being like, oh, yeah, I've been here before. I know this. And honestly, that's what I'm holding on to here. I think Usman will do some good work standing up as long as he keeps Gilbert Burns from being the aggressor. And I think Usman could do some good work on the ground, do some good work against the octagon. Look, there is no one way, okay? And I can't call one way that Usman could beat Burns. I think it has to be like a collective of all those things, and Usman is very good at that. I think he does some stand-up. I think he does some ground, some transitioning, pressing him against the octagon, anything to wear Gilbert Burns out, because as long as the fight is just, as long as these miles, right, is compiling, as long as the sprint is starting to turn into a marathon, then the fight is going to go in the direction of Kamaru Usman. So that's what I'm holding on to with this $10,000. I think if the fight goes past 3 rounds, that's a victory for Kamaru Usman. And with my $10,000, I'm going to be looking at the fight, just counting down the rounds. Hopefully, Usman gets to the 3rd round, and then after that, then we can see, I think we can call a victory for Kamaru Usman. He's just very good with the marathon type of race instead of the sprint race that Gilbert Burns would love for this fight to be. I think Gilbert Burns would just love this fight to end early. Of course, I think he'll just, be timing great strikes, and if they get on the ground, I think he'll be trying to transition and pull off a submission as soon as possible, because that's just what he is. That's just what he does. He finished fights. So let's go to busr.com/showbiz to place this bet. Dude, at this look, you want to talk about the bubble guts. $10,000 is a lot of money. And really, dude, it's just only fair. A lot of, this money, you guys always donate to this channel. And I think it's just only fair that you have some control on how I bet my money on busr.com. So, yeah, here it is. Man, $10,000. Oh, my. Here we go. No! That's what y'all wanted. That is exactly what y'all wanted. You got it. Hey, look, hey, let me know in the comments if I blew it or not. It wasn't a setup. No. I think you guys, y'all love me too much to set me up. But I'll tell you this, man. I bet the money. It was really you guys bet. It was the bet of the community to bet this $10,000 on Kamaru Usman. I think you guys are very confident. I'm just nervous. I'm totally nervous. ShowBizz, don't. See you Saturday when I do my live stream commentary. Please be there, and that's when I'll be announcing the winner of this glove. I'm out.